This is the Middle Tennessee High School Sports Show with your hosts, Mike Strasinger and Jacob Golson.
All right, welcome into another episode of the Middle Tennessee High School Sports Show. I'm Mike Strasinger alongside Jacob Golson. What's up, Jacob?
Nothing much. Glad to be back. Ready to dive into another episode.
How was your weekend?
It was good. Didn't do that much.
It's going so fast. It seems like
I know.
It's a long time between episodes. It's a full week, but it just really happens fast. We're going to get going right away. Volleyball and soccer are going on. They're in the middle of district play. We are getting closer to getting the results every game from TSSAA. That's really it's almost there. And then golf. Okay, check this out. The the Division II regional championships are going on right now as we speak, and we'll know at the end of the day today. This is being taped on Monday. Who's going to state, and that's next Monday and Tuesday down in it's Winchester Club down in just outside Manchester, Tennessee, and we're going to be there next week.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we're going to be going live on remote to bring you our show from there and give you the results from that. So that's going on as we speak. The golf goes over for the next 3 weeks. Starting next week, there'll be it's Division II. Then I think it's the small schools and the large schools.
Awesome.
Week after week after week. And so golf is the state championships are on us next week. Cross country, we're gearing up towards the state meet here. I think it's at the end of next month. There was a big meet over at the Steeplechase on Saturday. It's called the Junior Ward, close personal friend of mine. Junior Ward Tennessee Classic. Jacob's got some team results for us that we got off the TN Mile Split website.
Yeah, so there were 2 divisions, silver and gold, and you could choose which one you wanted to be in. When we looked at it, it looked like most of the teams in the silver division were either small schools or private schools, but there's some variation in there. For the girls, the top 5 teams in the silver division were Sovereign Grace, Harpeth Hall, Brentwood Academy, Baylor, and CPA. And then for the girls' gold division, the top 5 teams were Houston, Wilson Central, Mount Juliet, Centennial, and Oakland. Moving on to the guys in the silver division, the top finisher was BA, followed by Sovereign Grace, CPA, St. Benedict, and then Hume Fogg. And then for the boys' gold division, those results weren't finalized yet, so you'll have to check TM Mile Split for the official results later. But we eyeballed it, and it looked like the top 5 finishers were going to be Bartlett, Hillsboro, McCallie, Oakland, and Maryville.
Yeah, that's a little unofficial, but that's the best we could tell.
Yeah.
There's 190 runners in the boys division. That's a lot of runners.
Yeah, it is.
That's good. So the cross-country guys are gearing up. You know, they ran over Steeplechase. You ran there. It's a tough course to run.
It is very tough.
And it's good that they're getting the practice in at that course.
Because that's where the state meet is.
Exactly. And we're back. All right, this week we went over to BGA at CPA for our what we might call our game of the week. This was a BGA 4-0 at CPA 0-4.
Yep.
Now we did not think figured CPA is better than 0-4, and had not seen BGA yet, but at 4-0 we were ready to be impressed.
Yep.
And we went over the game and take a look at the highlights here. The 0-4 CPA Lions came roaring back into the den Friday night to face the 4-0 BGA Wildcats. CPA controlled this game throughout and started right off the bat with their first drive, a 10-minute, 23-second drive, eating up almost the entire first quarter. Capped off here by a short run by quarterback Cade Law. On BGA's first possession, a pass intended for the end zone here is picked off by Maverick Rodriguez to thwart the BGA Wildcats drive. Now, right before the halftime, CPA adds another score to go up 14-0. Ball looked like it might have come out there before the goal line, but it was ruled he had crossed into the end zone. Lions lead 14-0. Then in the third quarter, facing a 3rd and 13 from their own 21, Law takes it in from 21 yards out, and the Lions are up 21-0 after 3. A short punt by BGA and a good return by Maverick Rodriguez gave the Lions another short field, and this was a story all night long. Really good punt, special teams play by the Lions all night long. Here, Cade Law finds his favorite receiver, Tyler Reed, and it's 28-0 for your final. This is a game totally dominated by the Lions. They controlled the ball. It was a great game plan. They shut BGA down offensively. Nick Simpsonfelter, the great quarterback from BGA, had only 84 yards passing, and BGA only had 140 yards total offense.
I'm here with Coach Ingle Martin. Huge 28-0 win over BGA. Like I said, I was surprised coming in. I would not have expected this score. But what a game plan. Tell us about the offensive game plan first of all.
Well, offensively, our guys have been working hard, and really for us, it started when school got out with our summer workouts. And those guys, being led by Garrett Matthews and Sam Leonard, a couple seniors up front, have really worked hard all summer. Coach Haywood, our offensive line coach, and Coach Harris, our offensive line coach, we got two of the best, I think, in Tennessee, leading those guys, and they had them ready to play. And those guys have been working each and every week at the same game, getting better and better, and really came out and we executed tonight. That's been the biggest difference in our first 5 weeks.
So this was something that you've been building towards all year long. Now tonight they were able to do it.
That's right.
And the play of quarterback number 11, K Law.
Yep.
Tell us now, there was a 3rd and 13 play down here, game's 14-0, and on the 21-yard line, you take a timeout. What's that play call, and how did that go down?
Well, right there, up 2 scores, we're thinking, hey, a field goal is gonna put us up 3. Makes it a little bit harder to be reached in the second half, and really we got the look that we wanted. Again, offensive line blocked well. We had a couple lead blockers out there, and on the perimeter, our receiver blocked well. So Kate did what he was supposed to do. Everyone's supposed to do their job. He did his job and finished the run.
Well, now, defensively, you totally shut them down. How did that happen?
I think the biggest thing, again, is that belief in what we're doing. Ryan Taylor, our defensive coordinator, has done an amazing job. This is his 8th year, and he keeps leading that defense in games like this where they come out and they're ready to play. All of our coaches on that side of the ball have been working all summer, again, on just, hey, believe in what we're doing, trust it, and tonight, having, I think, 3 turnovers was huge. We haven't been on that side of the coin this 2019 season, so that was a huge deal. And then really Coach Linger and Coach Fisher coaching our special teams. I thought field position was huge tonight.
Some big punts by your guy and some big returns by your guy as well.
That's right.
Total field position battle.
That's right.
Went your way.
That's right. Hitting yardage was there tonight for sure in the special teams. So again, we're excited. Region wins in Tennessee are big, and to be 1-0 is huge. And we got 3 more of those. For us to look forward to, but really we can't do a whole lot of celebrating. We got Brentwood High next week.
Brentwood High, tough schedule. All right, Coach.
Yep.
Big win. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Honestly, I did not see that outcome coming. Just on
No,
paper,
not at all.
After watching the game, though, I was like, well, duh, yeah. CPA is the same old CPA. I don't think they graduated a ton of people, but I don't think they missed a lick, missed a beat.
Yeah.
They were hard hitting, flying around the ball, did exactly what they wanted to do all night long.
It was clear they were thirsty for a win. They came out ready to rumble. They controlled the ball so well. They dominated the time of possession, and they really deserved to win that game by far. BGA did not come ready.
Absolutely, and I was. You saw the highlights there. I did not mention this. I don't think in the highlight package. BGA was held to like 142 yards of total offense. That's domination.
Yeah.
CPA offensively did whatever they wanted. Defensively, they did whatever they wanted. And special teams was such a huge part of the game. And like Ingle said, Coach Ingle Martin said there, the hidden yardage totally went to CPA. So hats off to CPA. Well done. Great win.
Great first win.
Yeah. So they're not going to win. They still got to play Brentwood and Raywood.
Yeah.
So brutal schedule, but they'll be in the playoffs. And
Yep.
you never know. You never know. I guess that takes us to our picks of the week. Oh, well, I want to tell you what we're going to do this week.
Yeah.
Thursday night, if everything goes right, we're going to go down to Summertown. There's a game in Summertown, Loretto at Summertown on Thursday night. I thought that'd be a lot of fun to go down there. On Saturday, Pearl Cone and Hillsborough will be playing at TSU. It's a home game for Hillsborough. Their field is still under construction.
Right.
This is going to be a great game. 2 great teams, great coaches. I encourage everybody to get out there and support that. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I guess that takes us to the picks of the week then. Okay.
I'm ready.
And do you have our numbers from last week?
I do have our
watch
numbers
this.
for last week.
Yeah.
I went 9-1. Pretty good.
What?
I'm keeping it rolling. Doing well.
9-1, and I was 9-2, I think, which
Yep.
was not bad. But this is a percentage thing. We're playing for charity,
Yep.
and my charity is the World Wildlife Foundation,
And mine is Men of Valor, a Nashville prison ministry.
so the loser's going to give the other one $50 for the charity. Plus, I have to throw
Yep.
in an extra 10 from a silly bet I made a couple weeks ago. Do you have our totals?
I do. I have our overall scores. So I'm 35-7 overall. That's 83% correct percentage. And then Mike, you are at 32-10. So just a 3-game difference. So your average is 76%.
Well, this is a percentage deal, so you're destroying me. You're 60, 70 percentage points ahead.
Yeah.
That's huge. All right. So we do this kind of at random thing. We split it up in two. Look at the games. We compile 2 lists. So either 10 or 11 games on each list, and I give Jacob the choice each week. And what did you pick this week?
I picked A.
Took A, so you're up first. Go.
All right, so starting off, my first game is CPA at Brentwood. So both teams, they're coming off their best games of the year. CPA with an impressive win, their first win on the year over Battleground Academy. So CPA is finally playing to their potential, and I'm looking forward to this game because I think they could keep it close. And then on the other side, we have Brentwood with their huge 25-14 win over Ravenwood. So they're at home. I think I'm going to give the edge to Brentwood over CPA. It's going to be a close game. Kind of feel sorry for CPA because they finally they're playing to their potential now, but I don't think they can beat this Brentwood team.
No, we'll see.
My next game is West Creek at 3-2 at Clarksville Northeast at 0-5. So this is a big rivalry game. It might be a little ill-advised, but I kind of like the home team here. I think they're going to stick it to West Creek and get their first win on the year.
Okay.
So it might be a risky pick, but I'm going with the Eagles of Clarksville Northeast. Don't let me down. My next game is Tipton Rosemark Academy at Davidson Academy. These teams, I think, are pretty evenly matched. Davidson Academy has already taken their bye week, so I feel like they might be a little more rested than Tipton Rosemark. But Tipton Rosemark, they've lost their last 2 games, while Davidson Academy has won their last 2 games. I think that trend is going to continue. I like the home team here again, so I think the Bears take down the Rebels.
Okay.
My next matchup is Lawrence County at Forest. The Forest Rockets, they've exploded this season.
Nice.
Yeah, with an impressive 5-0 record. I don't think their first loss of the year comes against this Lawrence County team who've struggled against teams who are weaker than this Forest team. So I'm going with the Forest Rockets. My next matchup is Coalfield at Gordonsville. So even though Coalfield has a pretty easy schedule, winning games gets you in the right mentality. At 4-1, I like the Coalfield Yellow Jackets to pick up a road win over the struggling Gordonsville team. My next matchup is Trousdale County at Macon County. So Trousdale County is 3-1, their only loss being to a decent Watertown team in overtime. I think it was 16-13, tough loss there. I think Macon County keeps this close, but Trousdale's going to pull away in the end, and the Yellow Jackets get the win. Next matchup is Maplewood at 1-5 at Mount Juliet 2-2. So both of these teams, they've suffered from having really tough schedules. Maplewood has received losses from powerhouses like East Nashville and Pearl Cone, while Mount Juliet has lost heartbreakers to Gallatin and Stewart's Creek. So I took Mount Juliet last week to win over their arch rival Wilson Central.
Nice pick.
Yeah, they didn't let me down. So I'm going to keep rolling with them. I'm going Mount Juliet. Go Golden Bears. My next matchup is Christian County. So this is a team from Hopkinsville, Kentucky, at Pope John Paul II. So JP2 has put together a solid year so far. They're 3-2. They have a very tough schedule and need to take advantage of weaker games against weaker opponents. So this Christian County team is 0-5 and will travel quite a bit to play this game. So I think the Knights win the home game by a landslide here.
Okay.
Stewart's Creek at Station Camp is my next game. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. The Stewart's Creek Redhawks are 4-1, while Station Camp Bison are 0-5. The Redhawks win with a running clock.
Wow.
No worries there.
Okay, good. I like it.
Siegel versus Warren County is my next game. This game will be played at a neutral site. Nobody's home. This is 6A Region 3. Nice action between these two teams. So they aren't the powerhouses in this region like Oakland, Riverdale, and Blackman. So both teams need to take advantage of this game because they have tough games the rest of the year. So Warren County's at 2-3. They've had close losses to decent teams, while Siegel, unfortunately, is 0-5. They've come up short in a lot of games. I kind of feel bad for them. They've had chances in some games against tough opponents. I think this game will come down to the wire, but in the end, the team that's won games will get the job done. So I'm going with the Warren County Pioneers to take down the Stars. My final game on the week is White County at York Institute. I'm just going to say I'm mad at White County.
So your one loss?
Yeah, they beat Walker County last week, and that was my only loss of the week. So I can't go against White County here. This game is incredibly important for the Warriors. It's their last game before their bye week, and then right after the bye, they play 2 undefeated teams in Livingston Academy and Clay County.
Deep research.
Yeah, so they really need this win. I think they've circled this game on their calendar against York Institute, and they're going to show up ready to beat the Dragons. So those are my games.
Very, very impressive.
I'm a little bit nervous. I feel like a few of these could be toss-ups, but we'll see. I've done well so far.
You do the work. There's no doubting your work ethic. Very good. All right, it's time for my picks. This guy, wow, very good. I've got several games this week that feature teams playing across regional or class lines. Even though it's already halfway through the season, if there's only 4 teams in your region and you got to play that's 3 games you got to play.
Yeah.
The rest are out of region, so then you got to find opponents. They try to keep it close, I think, geographically.
Right.
But it's kind of interesting. So a lot of these are maybe rivalry games, but they're not necessarily in the same region. First up, Shelbyville 3-1 at Centennial 3-2. Both teams have won against teams they should win against, and lost games that they were probably underdogs in. Shelbyville has nice wins over Tullahoma, Columbia Academy, and Marshall County, with a loss to a really good Page team. Centennial has wins against Smyrna, Siegel, and Dixon County, with losses to Ravenwood and Indy. No shame in that. With all that, I'm going to go with Centennial and Coach Matt Kreisky in a very good game. Cascade 0-4 at Community 1-4. Both teams struggling a bit. Community won their first game of the year, but then they lost 4 in a row. Cascade is looking for their first win of the season, and I think they'll get it done Friday night.
Nice.
Cascade in a close one. Joe Burns 1-4 at East Robertson 2-3. Joe Burns picked up their first win of the year last week, knocking off Red Bowling Springs 44-14. Nicely done. East Robertson is also coming off a win, taking down Jackson County 14-7. The Indians of East Robertson will take care of the Red Devils of Joe Burns and get to 500 on the year.
Nice.
All right, Page 3-1, Giles County 1-3. The Page Patriots were off last week, and after suffering their first loss of the year, while Giles County fell to 1-3 on the year, but they've lost to Hendersonville, East Nashville, and Stratford. Okay, their woes continue though as a rested Page team will get back on track. Indy at 3-1 at Hendersonville 2-3. Okay, this is a tough matchup between 2 good teams. Both teams have been in some very good close games already this year. All right, check this out. Hendersonville has lost the last 2 games by 1 point each week. 18-17 to Beach, and then 21-20 last week to Lebanon. Well, Indy had to come from behind to win against Franklin in overtime, and Franklin scored a touchdown in overtime after Indy had scored theirs. And now Franklin scores, and they roll the dice and they go for 2.
Wow.
But they came up short, so they lost in overtime. So with both teams already playing tough ones, I got to go with the team that has won the close ones already. Indy knows how to win the tough games with Coach Scott Blade.
Nice.
You mentioned earlier the team that had won knew how to win.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot to that. Franklin 1-4 at McGavick 0-5. That tough loss I referred to in the last pick about with Indy, with Franklin against Indy, that's going to give the Rebels some confidence, and they should handle a winless McGavick team pretty easily. Franklin wins by 10. Columbia 4-1 at Nolensville 4-0. Okay, this is a tough pick. Columbia is they both come in with impressive records, but don't get misled. Columbia's opponents have a winning percentage of .320, while Nolensville's opponents are only 4-16 for a .200 winning percentage. Okay, so it's hard to tell how good these teams are. So when in doubt, you should probably take the home team, but I'm going to go with Columbia in this one.
Okay.
Dixon County 1-4 at Rossview 3-2. Dixon County's lone win came against McGavick, a team that hasn't won a game yet, and they only beat them by 1 point. Rossview gets this one. Loretto 2-2 at Summertown 4-1. These two play on Thursday night, and right now we're planning on heading down there.
Yeah.
Okay, that could be a lot of fun. We're going to look at some common opponents in this one. Loretto beat Wayne County 24-20, and Summertown beat Wayne County 31-6. Therefore, Summertown should win this one. That's where I'm going with.
Gotcha.
Clay County 5-0 at Westmoreland 3-2. Sounds easy, right? 5-0 versus 3-2. The problem, though, is that Clay County is a 1A school while Westmoreland is a 2A school. There's, who knows? That could have something to do with it. I think it does. This one though is a coin flip, and I'm going to go with the home team, Westmoreland, in a tight one.
Nice. Good job.
That's it. We'll see.
We will.
All right, it's on. Okay?
You can make a comeback this week.
It's on. I'm so impressed with your the work you're putting into this and making me take mine to a next level.
Yeah.
I hope. Want to mention we're here at the Corner Pub in the Woods. Thanks to Woods Murphy and his staff as always for hosting us out here. Please, I'm going to ask Jacob to take us out here. He's going to tell us about the Instagram and Twitter and subscribe and all that.
Yeah, just a reminder, we'll be at a different location next week, but until then, follow us on social media, Instagram and Twitter, at MTHS Sports Show. Please like this video down below, dislike it if you didn't like it. If you didn't like it, comment down below what you didn't like, give us some suggestions of what you'd like us to cover. Give us comments about scores, different things you want us to cover. We'll cover it, we want to.
Absolutely.
Just let us know. So we'll see you next time.
All right, good job. All right, thanks.